Hello there, this is Janelle T. Barso for Talk 13 on Reasons of Holding On and Not Giving Up. These are ways to continue working and believing despite how small the chances are or how big the challenges become. Now, I will be giving you 5 reasons towards responding to such need to hold and not give up. First reason, family. Easy to remember, huh? Well, we all are in a family. Everyone belongs to a family, no matter how or in what definition. Now, family, as we know, comes as either biological, often we call it direct. Your direct family is your main support system. Knowingly, a family is the basic unit of the community. Build a strong one, then the community becomes a stronghold. Often, we could refer family to be adaptive or perceived. Surrogating parents would entail the same love. Perceiving would assume developing extra levels of respect, love, and care to colleagues or peers. Here are some photo ops I had with the parents of latest advisories. Parents and Teachers Association guarantees strong development to learners. In a family, each has his or her role, the father and the mother, extending with having children, brother or sister, children some marry to build families, becoming an aunt or an uncle, thus being an in-law follows too. Growing more maturely develops each to be a grandfather or a grandmother. All serve to be a guardian at a given point. On this first reason, family and all the relationships associated to it, several definitions and associations are manifested. To name, friendship, there's status, there are acquaintances, there's concern, responsibilities and accountabilities, happiness, comfort, with label, special treatments, no labels yet, and BFS. More so, each of us is and will be intertwined to any of these, by which love of any possible form may be strongly or overwhelmingly present. Let us remember it again. For the first reason, what is it? Family. Second reason, mind. Mind is still mysterious as how studies and researches are currently trying to figure out whereabouts of its existence and dynamism. At the very least, we could easily relate consciousness to mind. In fact, evolution still traces how could such a very wonderful, magical, magnificent, imaginative, huge thing must have come to existence. Well, God must have been so perfect that he cannot go wrong with his masterpiece and its making. Relatively, as consciousness is manly, wisdom is God's provision. In his divinity, he once chosen and seeking individuals to manifest this gift to unlocking purposes of renewal, compassion, and especially salvation. Wisdom is greater than common sense. Common sense is not even common as we know. Wise decisions are only made if and only if both the initiating and accepting parties are gratified. On this second reason, great mind, the consciousness and the wisdom, we could firmly relate how much great minds have we known from the past to date. Such might emphasize peace of awareness, instinct and intuition, acquired pedagogy, learned thought, conformity of scientific stuff to spiritual endeavors and vice versa, and literacy. Bound by our mental capacities would mean living with a morale and working with what best each could define and contribute. Second reason, What's there then? In a family, there's this mind. Third reason, expression. Every living creature manifests motion or action that would mean expression of such. Now, these expression makes or bridges the coexistence between these living, varied or the same in a class, phylum, kingdom, or domain. What lies is surely a choice as to how the manifestation may and should be made. Science could never be wrong on its purpose of wanting to make justifications, clarifications, and explanations to bodies of knowledge around. It's just that our mental and living limitations cannot bring us to a concrete discovery of appreciating God, the supernatural force, they say, behind all these mysteries. Well, this may be up for another talk. The advancements of science led us to clearer understandings about almost every piece of knowledge. Being systematic on its expression, science conveys never-ending loops of discovery. To digress, the arts would seem to be the introvert side. They are the perfect expressions of imaginations and collaborations. On this third reason, expression, the sciences and the arts, knowingly we coexist because of purpose and self-worth. Now there are but numerous reasons as to how much unselfishly loved we are by these expressed jewels. We have logic, there's creativity, there are nature's different wonders, there's imagination, there's reasoning, there is emotion, there are processes, there's free will, and precision. Voila! At the very least, what defines us to be human beings from bots and AIs are our abilities to imagine and to be creative in a way. Third reason, what for will the mind be? For the expression. Now that's in a family, there's this mind for the expression. Fourth reason, empathy. Solely, the ideal approach to solving conflicts and shortcomings will be empathy. Empathy must be the basis of all forms of education and business ventures, even engineering and manufacturing processes. Amazingly, empathy brings sense of interconnectedness. We do to others as we would have them do to us. The golden rule must have assured harmony in all forms of relationships, especially to strangers of our brothers and sisters. On this fourth reason, empathy and the sense of interconnectedness, we may learn the very root of our existence. Now that's to be of Christ's followers, sharing ourselves for others. Specifically, being in others' shoes, sense of protecting others, signs and dreams, premonitions, gut feeling, inspiration, and charisma. Being interconnected simply means we are one in the body of our Lord. Instead of blaming, pointing a finger, criticizing, or humiliating, we instead conduct learning, collaborating, giving compliments, and teaching lessons. Fourth reason, of what sense? Of empathy. Now that's in a family, there's this mind for the expression of empathy. Fifth reason, job. Job is anything we do, voluntarily or with compensations or arrangements. We find job to sustain our financial needs to make a living. Employment, business, service, each has jobs within it. Job could be temporary, contractual, or permanent, but not that absolute as we know it. In short, job is changing. It does not mean stagnation. It must evolve depending on priorities and deadlines or goals. Surely, one could reach on a point of being passionate with one thing. The job translates to a long-term mission. On this fifth reason, your job and your mission means not relieving ourselves from the center or as the center. It means defining what you could do to steadily know why you should do. Now, it starts with where you are very good at. It follows with some sort of participation and involvement. There is then a development of more acts of kindness. Then there will be voluntarism or willingness, and passion or where you are called at or to be. Having said, maturity comes by enough experience and with the purity of the intention. May we find in ourselves the time to reflect and ponder how things may be going through versus how much blessed and capable we become as we've been triumphant with our victorious God. Fifth reason, why then to do a job? Now that's in a family, there's this mind for the expression of empathy to do a job. Let us repeat it. In a family, there's this mind for the expression of empathy to do a job. In order to live a life, we must love life. Loving a life means loving God first and the rest of our brothers and sisters. This is Janelle D. Barzo, and let me give you this takeaway. Great minds not just know the reason, but also the perseverance to fulfilling it. With God, for God, and because of God. See you, and God bless us all.